go. All right, we back. All right, but yeah, that's the thing about Jesus, hold on. There we go. All right. So yeah, that's the thing about what was we talking about? Now I lost my train of thought.
We were talking about Final Fantasy.
Oh, all these remakes. Yeah, so all the remakes are
Yeah.
coming back out, and everybody getting all hyped about the remakes, but there's nothing new, and that's what's suffering in gaming right now. There really isn't nothing really to throw, and that's the thing. We're at the point where we're adults now, man. We got the money to spend on stuff, but there's nothing to spend it on.
Right. I mean, there's nothing to play. Like, there's nothing really good to play right now, man. And it doesn't really seem like there's anything new coming out on the horizon that looks that great, to be honest with you.
I mean, shoot. I mean, we got Crackdown on here. Crackdown looked decent, you know.
It looked all right.
It looked like
decent. Crackdown before.
Exactly. It looked like Crackdown 1. And once again, prying on the nostalgia of all of us, you know. So we're just going to throw our money at the screen and get it, which a lot of people will. We will.
I bet I won't if I can't tear down buildings. I bet I don't.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now.
I was promised buildings tore down.
If they don't get that fixed, that's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be a problem. That's gonna. And I mean, that was the whole thing with Crackdown. You know, you just tore down the buildings. You became a superhuman, and you know, if you play part 1, it had a crazy twist at the end. But other than that, part 2 was, you know, just whack. But I don't know, man. And listen, man, Xbox might be getting ready to just fold it up, man. Because and I hate to admit it, bro. I really do. But I think this might be the final blow. If they can't get no sales out of just something to stick, you know, because Sony got exclusives coming, man. But regardless of all that, man. I think Microsoft is banking on that 1X, man. Even though it feels like the more and more that's coming about that 1X, the more and more people are kind of backing off of it, man. It's like, oh, it's going to be true 4K, and then it's like, well, we're going to use the same checkerboarding patterns that the PlayStation Pro is using. Exactly. They finessing people, man. They trying to Black China us, man, and I'm not falling for it. I'm not going to. Especially a person like myself who does PC gaming. It's like I can get true 4K, but here's the kicker though, Kev. Nobody's playing in 4K, bro. Nobody is. You know?
I don't see that as being a selling point. I feel like they kind of lost their way in getting caught up in what, you know, like these monitor manufacturers, TV manufacturers are out here doing. But for me, as far as like gameplay goes, or as far as like how I kind of rank games out, graphics are pretty low down the list. Like graphics are kind of the bonus. I need a good story. I need good gameplay. A good co-op would be great. Good multiplayer. Graphics are kind of like, oh man, and it looks pretty. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I just talked about earlier. I'm playing Yoshi's Island. Okay, I'm playing not even the SNES version, the Game Boy Advance version. I'm playing it right now, and I'm having a ball playing it. Not because it graphically it's 8-bit. I mean, you know, pretty much. It's not anything to write home about, but it's just a phenomenal, fun game to play. You know,
gameplay was excellent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Art style was one that you could get down with. It wasn't too hard to play, very casual to pick it up, and it was just fun. That's all that's supposed to matter, is making fun games. But it feels like all these game makers now, they're kind of missing the mark on that. I don't know why, but
I don't know, man. We need Willy Wonkas to come back. Cats start dreaming again, man. Something got to give.
I thought Nintendo was supposed to be the brand for that, man. I thought Nintendo made dreams come true.
Yeah, but Nintendo's pulling Nintendo, man. They keep putting out all these. And here's the craziest part about it, though. There was a story that came out today that the Switch actually has all the like the Nintendo emulator on like in the code, so it can run everything. So they pretty much think that the virtual console is coming. But at this point, I don't even know if anyone cares.
My thing is, what are you holding out for at this point? The people don't have anything to play. What are you waiting on?
Man, my boy Mike was hyped about Metal Slug 2.
Okay.
Came out. You know, how old is that game? We're talking about a 25, 30-year-old game.
It's tough life out here, man.
Absolutely.
Tough life out here.
But that's the Switch.
What are we on? Switch is dead week 7?
No, this is week 8.
Week 8 is Switch is dead. Okay. And they're getting a new game though announced. They're getting something. They're getting something.
How long can they ride that it's coming wave though, man? You know, I'll go around. I will search around for, like, you know, people have their top 10 Switch games that are coming out. And I had one guy had the nerve to hit me up talking about Mario Odyssey might be game of the year, and I just said, you know what, we're done here. We're done here. Which I know I have full faith. I have full faith it's going to be good, but come on, game of the year.
That's a tough bet right there, man. Yeah. You're hedging your bet pretty tough right there.
Absolutely, man. So yeah, this is week 8. Switch is dead, bro.
Hey man, cold world out here, bro.
Yeah, they gotta figure something out. But Nintendo going Nintendo. They gonna do that.
I mean, do they have to figure something out, man? Like the fanboys, they love them so much that they'll just ride for anything, man.
Listen,
they'll go for whatever.
Ask anyone who has a Switch what are they playing. And get ready for silence.
Yeah, I had a joke in there, man, but I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Peace
man.
to the Switch, man. We got 2K18 WWE 2K18 coming. I mean, I did think that was actually some good news, just on the strength that we are seeing that there are devs out here willing to support. Even though we are new, 2K Games was already willing to support because NBA 2K was going over there. You know, at least they're getting some big titles going over there. So that is good. And wrestling games traditionally have been pretty good on Nintendo systems. I mean, kind of barring out the Wii, but yeah, I mean, what was that, WrestleMania 64? That was classic.
That was, but that was also a game that you played locally. You didn't play, you know what I mean? So they have to flourish online. And the fact that Nintendo hasn't gotten their online stuff squared away, you know? Like, what space is it going to be in? I mean, I do think all the possibilities for a wrestling game would be dope on the Switch, but, bro, you going to hook it up and play with your friends on face? No one games locally anymore, man. Unless you play with your family, that's about it, man. No one plays.
They don't meet at the park?
Nah. And you know what? We should have known that. When we seen that Switch commercial when it launched and it talked about how the cat took it to the park with him and set it up while they hooped, and then they came and played the Switch. Man, stop it, man.
Man, I tried to tell y'all. That was madness. I'm like, nobody's ever gonna do that. Yeah. Like, nobody.
Yeah.
That was complete. Listen, I'm trying to champion the Switch since we don't have a Nintendo fanboy anymore around here. I'm trying to be that champion for it, but they're making it hard. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not giving me much to work with.
Right. And Zabori, I know you out there, man. We apologize. I apologize ahead of time, man. We tried. It ain't our fault, man. It's Nintendo.
Right. Don't blame us. Blame them.
Blame Nintendo.
They did it to us.
Blame Nintendo.
Yeah.
But yo, man, so there's a white PS4 Pro coming out that was announced for Destiny 2 that's launching. It's coming with the game, of course, all the DLC. It's white. It's got the bigger hard drive. Do we care? I mean, see that's
nah.
It's the finesse, man. It's really the remix.
On these things.
I don't know.
You know what? They really are making like phones now, aren't they?
It's
like, man, the red iPhone or something.
Yeah, they made the red iPhone. Exactly. You're exactly right, man. It's the same. It does the same exact thing the other ones do. You know.
Yep.
So I advise everyone, don't even worry about it. Just get the PlayStation 4 version or Xbox, wherever your community is at, and rock out. So, look, man, gaming. And I also got to eat a little crow too as far as video games. I know we don't have much to talk about gaming wise, but the PlayStation is a damn good system, man. And I really have to tip my hat to that. I've been playing God of War Remastered, God of War 3. So I came downstairs I got to start the board over and load it all up. Nah, I just started it up and it was picked up right where I was slashing at.
Right where you left off.
I paused it. I said, you know what? This is something special right here, man. This is really something
listen,
special.
Man, that was probably my biggest selling point, man. I just powered on, boom, right where I left off. Keep playing. It's lovely. It is lovely. Even though I did notice Xbox is trying to get that right now. They tried to fix that.
Yeah, they're trying. It's a learning curve on both systems. I think wherever your community is at is cool, but being that I just hopped on PlayStation, I really can appreciate that. But it's just fluid, man. Honestly, I've been using it. I was telling you, we played. Me and the family played that That's You game, which if you got a family at home, it's a local game you can play with your cell phones. It's a very fun game. Very fun family game. Run us
down that a little bit, man. So that game, what is it like? It offers up questions, and everybody has to kind of vote on who is like that, or
well, yeah. So basically,
it's not like you can get offended at some point in this game. Like, wait a second now.
Yeah, you will, and because basically, with all of us, with me and the kids and the wife, basically you use your cell phone. That's the first thing. So the biggest selling point, in my opinion, is it takes everyone off their phone. And it makes it turns the focus onto the phone, but for the game. Because even if you exit out of the game, it pauses the game on the screen. So it's like you can't, multitask with it. So you got to keep the game on. But basically, you take a picture of yourself, and that's like your avatar. And then what it comes to is, like when the game comes on, they'll pick a scenario. Let's just say camping. So the question or the narrator for the game will say, which one of you guys would be most likely to lose it if you guys got lost in the woods? So then it would come up, have everybody's avatar up, and then you would pick who you think. So basically what the object of it is, you want to guess what everyone else is going to think, because whatever the consensus is who gets the points. So let's just say for us, we had 6 people playing. If 2 people match up, with each other, and then 2 other people match up with each other, then they both get points. Well, the way it gets mixed up too is you get joker coins. So where if someone else is going to pick something that you do, you put a joker down and you double your points. So it turns into like a gambling thing. But then other than that, like it'll pick one person and say, take a selfie, and you take a selfie and everyone has to draw on your face, or, take a picture of yourself with a stomach ache, and you do that. You take some picture, like I took a picture of Khalees and she was like holding her stomach, and then we all drew on that. And then it took everyone's picture and was like, whose was the best picture. So everyone had to vote on that. So it's just something that keeps it all energetic and keep going. And it gets really competitive too.
I can bet, man. For a big group, that does sound like that could be a fun game.
Yeah.
Just something that the whole family could do and then spend that time.
Well, I'm interested to play with some adults.
Now, for my situation, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah, I know. You too. I understand. But if you guys come through though, I want to actually turn, because you could actually turn on like adult not adult content as far as, but it was like you could turn that on and it would change the questions. So I'm interested to see what those are, because we didn't turn them off for the kids. But I'm
no doubt.
So it was
we're rocking out one thing. You already know how it go.
Yeah, but just that right there, man, just something with that alone, just adding into the system, is something I thought was really fun, man. Just take the chance and do it, because don't take nothing. You're using the devices you already have,
right? That's a cool idea. Hey, listen, man, I'm always happy to see any games out there taking chances and trying something new. So, man, that's pretty cool that they're at least trying it.
Right. Yeah, so other than that, man, we had, so LeBron has some footage. He released some footage of him playing Street Fighter 2. Says he's the best and a legend in 2 games like Pee Wee Kirkland. Hey, look, man. So I saw it. First of all, he's beating up on his homie. And the homie, shout out to his homie who stood there and took those beatings like that. But that arcade was dope, though. I want one of those for my basement. And they was getting it in, but I'll whoop LeBron up in some damn Street Fighter, man.
Listen. That's why I was saying, man. I'm like, man, listen, man, you ain't looking that sweet, bro. You know what I'm saying? Looking like you got some basic moves over there, bro.
Right. Was he using Bison, right?
I think he was using Ken.
Was he? Well, see, that's cheating alone.
No, Dalsim. He was using Dalsim.
Right. He was using Dalsim. Because he kept on saying Yoga Flame and Yoga Fire. Yep. I'm gonna tell you, hey, anybody who played games with like a cousin or a brother, back in the day, that's fighting right there. All those, you start doing the ad libs and you jumping around and stuff like that. And that was before the days of social media. So I couldn't even imagine having cousins then back then. There probably a lot of fights back then too. If we had social,
out there.
Oh man, if we had social media, oh please.
I'm trying to tell you.
It'd be
listen, man. When somebody watches that dang on dunk cam too long on 2K, you get hot. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, listen, we skipping replays around here.
Hit the button, man.
Spice Slam Cam A for you, bro.
Exactly. But I thought it was dope, though. With the age of social media, LeBron could share that and could find out he's a pretty, gamer. Pretty dope.
Yeah. I would like to see Braun versus Lupe. That's what I'm hoping for next, man. Celebrity. That's what I think.
Yeah, he watched it because Lupe knows it. He's in the Street Fighter community.
Hey, listen, man. You can't claim to be a legend in 2 games and not back it up, though, man. You got to do that now.
That's true
for the culture.
That is true. That is definitely true. All right, man. So the Beard got snubbed for MVP, but he's got the richest contract in basketball history. Hey, listen, man. When I saw that he got that contract, I was and the thing about it is, though, honestly, and I started reading about it. By him extending it, it actually helps them, as far as money wise. But he got the super bag.
Yeah, what is it, $57 million a year?
Yeah,
something ridiculous like that.
I think that last year he gets 57, but he's close to Steph money.
You think about that, and then the $200 million from Adidas, man. This guy is almost at $500 million at 27. That's ridiculous, man.
Yeah. And before you had KG, who was he had 2 $100 million contracts. But just with that deal, he jumped over Joe Johnson, who was like 3rd, I think. Because it was like Joe Johnson and then someone else. Can't remember who else it was. And then it's the Beard. So the Beard's number 1 as far as total earnings for active players.
He deserves it, man. If you ask me, he's been getting overlooked, not as a player. I think everybody recognizes his skill and what he offers that team. But I do feel like as far as his recognition in the NBA, I mean, even just going back to last year, you realize he didn't make an All-NBA team last year?
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous. I mean, he was an MVP candidate, and you're telling me that he didn't make an All-NBA team? Like, come on.
Well, this was a year he kind of went Super Saiyan, though, because he ascended, man. He went, like, super Harden on this one because, he, like you said, I think he should have won MVP, in my opinion. Russ was out there trying, man. He's out there telling his guys, let me get rebounds and stuff, which is, hey, man, whatever, I guess. But the beard was out there just doing it all. And I think if he wasn't in the sunken place, I think that Khloe Kardashian stuff was kind of on him still. He wasn't in the sunken place against the Spurs. He probably would have got it, man. Even though the votes were already in at that point, I listen, I think something had to do with it, man.
He could have pushed through. Hey, man, listen, he going to be pushing through that 227 mil. So, hey, shouts out to him.
Absolutely. But shooting bigger than that, man, I mean, who's going to get Melo? And right now, they're the rumored team to get him. So if they get Melo, I like that move.
They'll be better. I do like that move, but I don't know if I like it for Melo, man. I think that Melo would be better suited in Cleveland. Even though the Rockets are a great team with CP3 and James Harden, that is a whole lot of offense. And in D'Antoni's system, it really is that's what they're going to thrive on.
Yeah.
But in the West, they've got so much competition already, and who's going to Harden is going to be the guy, but are CP3 and Melo really going to be able to put their egos to the back to let Harden really be the man?
I don't know.
That's tough to swallow. I feel like for LeBron, Melo could take a back seat, but for Harden, it's tough.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you like this. I think Melo gonna go whoever paying the money. Listen, whoever paying the money, hey, you got a hired gun. Because all his his workouts with the hoodie on, stop it, Melo. Ain't nobody buying that, man. And then come on, man. Like to us to think like, oh, he's not putting that footage out. Melo's putting the footage out. We all know he is. Okay. So I want to see Melo win, man. I really do, but I don't think Melo cares about winning. I think I care about it more than he do.
I don't think so, man. Cause I have to believe that Melo cares about winning just on the strength. Like, you remember when they won that bronze medal out there in the Olympics that first year? I want to say it was 03, 04.
Yeah,
Melo threw that bad boy out the window.
Yeah,
he threw that bronze medal out the window into a lake. You know what I'm saying? Like that tells me he's got a competitive edge about it. So I think that he wants to win. Plus, he doesn't want his legacy to be stinking it up in New York and then just kind of being a journeyman after that. And this next move is going to be a big one in Melo's career. It's kind of going to be make or break time for Melo and his legacy as far as what people will remember him for in basketball. If Melo doesn't make it to at least a conference finals again, if he doesn't sniff the finals, can he be a Hall of Famer? I mean, T-Mac is, so
exactly. Yeah. I was going to bring that up. If T-Mac's a Hall of Famer, yes, Melo's going to be a Hall of Famer. So I'm sorry that always has to be the litmus. We always have to, man. But T-Mac, we both were like, yo, T-Mac got in, like,
you setting a precedent when T-Mac
that bar
gets
was
in.
low.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So
absolutely. But yeah, I agree with you though as far as Melo. I think he has a lot to prove. It's just a matter of he cares. And I hate the fact that, he has the perception that he doesn't. Because even like I said, I think that he doesn't. But I gotta think, man, a lot of these cats is really trying to get these rings. They trying to do them by any means necessary. KD going to Golden State, the best basketball move for him. And I think with Melo, he had a chance to go to make the best basketball move when he had a chance to go to Chicago. When D. Rose and them was popping, he could have went there, but instead he wanted to go ahead and count them M's in New York and base it on Amari Stoudemire out here taking baths in red wine. Like, I'd have dipped. The minute I saw Amari get in the damn bath and he was a Jew, I'm out, man. Listen, I'm selling all my stock in New York. I'm out of here, man. This cat's taking baths. No
anti-Semites over here, though, man. We all good. We love them.
Nadier's out. I'd have been out. I'd have packed up and we'd have got out of here. I love you, Amari.
Hey, listen. Man, you think about when Melo landed in New York, though, man, like that looked like a promising move. Like it looked like they were building a really promising team. I mean, Amari was still playing really well. He was starting to get kind of nicked up, but he was playing really well. Melo had been balling in Denver. That team was just collapsing at that point. They should have been able to win, but for whatever reason, the Knicks have just been bad luck, and they're going to continue to be bad luck.
Yeah, I mean, the Knicks is a dumpster fire. I mean, they just paid Tim Hardaway Jr. $71 million. Not to mention they just cut the dude 2 years ago, and didn't even think about re-signing him. And now he's just like, they gave him the bag, the super bag. If I'm porking beans, I'm just counting it up, ready to roll, man.
My thing is, how you gonna give him the bag like that, and as soon as he walks through the door, tell him that he has to get much better on offense and defense. Like not
just offense, but defense too, brother. You got to get better. Yeah. But we're gonna give you 71
million. It wasn't like, we need you to work on your passing. We need you to work on your mid-range game. Like, no, offense. You need to be better on offense and defense. So just all around, basically, you need to be a better player. You're not good enough as it is.
Like, yo, we got to spend this money, so here. These cats is getting a lot of money, man. But, yo, we'll see. Speaking of money, Point IRS was already upset about other people getting the bag. So the Wizards, they got the offer on the table. Why is he not signing the deal?
I don't think that he believes in the Wizards, to be honest with you, man.
Really?
I heard that statement that he made, and he kind of threw Otto Porter under the bus like that right after Otto got that bag, talking about we really need, like, we're good at the we're good at the 1, we're good at the 2. Mm-hmm. I feel confident in our 5, and the 4 spot is pretty decent. We got to shore up something in that 3 because we got to go see LeBron. and then when they asked him about it, like, yo, you don't think Otto Porter feel no way? He's like, listen, he knows who he is. He knows what his game is.
Hey, that's what I like. That's what I like about Point IRS, man. He doesn't really bite his tongue. I like that about him. Kind of got that little edge on him, kind of like Boogie does, man. I want to see him and Boogie get back together. I want them two to be on the same team. They were
talking about him going to the Pels. It's a possibility, man.
Yeah, they were saying Lakers, Pelicans. Listen, the players have so much power now that they do. And they're talking and working out deals, and they had the whole collusion thing. No one can talk. Man, these cats is making their own damn decisions, man.
Right.
And everybody getting paid.
It's not wrong as long as the team owners and stuff aren't talking to the other players. Like, who cares, player? You can't stop the players from talking to each other. So,
right.
Hey, whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They running these ship now.
Right. So Jamal Crawford went ahead and signed with the Timberwolves, man. Timberwolves are sneakily putting together a team too.
They really are.
They're putting together a
nice little squad over there.
We'll see what happens with Jamal Crawford because he was awful second half of the year last year. So we'll see what happens.
I think quit on Doc. I think that's really what happened out there with the Clippers. I think nobody else was really believing in Doc anymore.
I firmly agree with you on that, man, because I just think Doc bringing his son in was just a bad move. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it was.
And I think that it's just hard, and it's hard to really coach your son because he got his son paid. Ain't no way. and I will say he puts in a lot of work as far as in the gym, but I will say a lot of the Jamal Crawford and him, the son being on the same team, hurt his game because he's out there trying to be like mini Jamal Crawford.
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying? It's like Jamal Crawford shouldn't really be competing with Austin Rivers out there. It's like, yo, he's a more talented player. He's a veteran player. You're just trying to really bring Austin along. You're kind of forcing Austin on the team. Mm-hmm. And, there were times where it gelled okay. I feel like Austin's not a trash player or anything like that, but
right.
That team should have been a contender, and that's really what your focus should have been instead of trying to figure out how to make it work with Austin too. And, hey, listen, I get it, but now they're where they are because of that.
Right. And they always say, man, Dr. GM gets in the way of Dr. Coach. So I think this is a classic because right now, but here's the craziest part about it, and I wanted to ask you about this, is do you think the Clippers might be better without Chris Paul?
No. I don't think so.
On paper, they got a decent team.
Do they though? Really? I mean, Blake re-signing. I really have to see who Blake is anymore.
Exactly.
Because it really feels like he lost his way.
Well, we're going to see Point Blake. Because Blake's thing was always he wanted the ball in his hands more. Chris Paul was too much of a dominant player. So we'll see, man. Blake got a whole other issues. He got to quit, punching equipment dudes and stuff, man. So if he can clear all those issues up, we'll see what happens because he deteriorated. Like I said, 3 years ago, we could argue that he was the best player in basketball in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he had a lot of game about him. I don't know where he fell off. I mean, he just started having like knick-knack injuries, man. Mm-hmm. He wasn't really on the floor. And then when he wasn't really making a big difference, it seemed like. So
Right.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, you could blame that on CP3, I guess, but
you
know.
could. I mean, somebody got to be the scapegoat, and it's easy to blame CP3 because he's a star of the team. So you could. And every time I went to commercial, either him or Blake was on a damn commercial. So it's easy to blame one of those two guys, But yeah, so whatever. But NBA has done a great job successfully turning their game into a all year round sport. People are checking on it. I found myself watching the daggone summer league games more than anything, watching Lonzo and watching some of these young boys. But Lonzo ain't slick. He's sitting out against the Sacramento Kings and De'Aaron Fox. Yeah. And that's listen, I think that was definitely a punk move. He should get out there and play. I think
that was magic, man. I think that was
magic.
But yeah, I think that was magic. Trying to save his psyche. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Heading into the season, he didn't want him to get dominated out there or to have another bad game.
Yeah, the magic factor is definitely big with Lonzo, man. Because Magic is trying to definitely water that seed and kind of cement his legacy. Because I'm gonna tell you, Magic's legacy got hurt from his son. Okay. I'm here to say it. His son. Yeah, listen. I'm just here to say it. Like his son hurts his legacy, and if anyone disagrees with me, I don't care because. Yeah, it hurts his legacy, man.
Hey, listen.
So that's what he's trying to do. But no, all jokes aside, the fact that Magic was a point guard, he could help Lonzo. And the thing about it is, man, shout out to Sean. Sean hates Lonzo Ball, by the way. He hates his shot. He hates everything about him. But you want to thank Lonzo and his dad for making Summer League kind of hype. Everyone's looking forward to it. That first Laker game was sold out. All right, to go see this kid play. Yeah, man. And from what I saw, man, the kid, he's a pass first point guard. I like the fact that it kind of gets a little infectious by him passing. So we'll see what happens, man.
Yeah, we'll have to see. That team is so young. I don't want to put a whole lot of stock in them right now. Like, I really don't see where the Lakers are a landing destination for any big-name free agent. Like, when we hear about Paul George still being asked if the Lakers are the destination for next year, it seems kind of ridiculous when you just joined the team with the MVP, the reigning MVP, to ask if you want to go play with a bunch of, first, second, third-year guys. I mean, on paper, it seems like a lot of that young talent is there, or that could be a talented team, but we don't know what they're going to do out there. I mean, that first game Lonzo played, man, he stunk it up.
He did.
All right.
He did. He looked very mediocre. He looked bad.
That second game he picked it up, man, got the triple-double, but he got a triple-double and a loss. So, I mean.
Yeah, it's tough for me to praise anybody in the Summer League, especially when a lot of these guys that are in the Summer League aren't even going to be on the roster. So it's totally different when that season kicks off and you're out there with them horses, and especially at the point guard position, because it's going to be rough every night. It's going to be rough. I'll tell you one thing, though. That Dennis Smith Jr. kid looks good.
He does, man. I'm going to tell you what, that Bam kid looks real good, too, man.
Yes.
Out there with Miami. Woo!
Yeah.
Woo, that kid, he's out there. He's looking very explosive.
Yes, he is. And I'm going to tell you, he scored, 29 in the first game, which was, more than the last, 16 games he played at Kentucky. I don't know if it was a talent thing or Calipari was keeping him behind or what, but that kid is he's out there balling, man. I'm gonna tell you, anytime when I saw him and De'Aaron Fox basically kind of consoling each other, but no homo, but they was hugging on each other and then kind of crying at the end of the game, that told me everything I need to know about those players, man. That told me everything I need to know. And these is guys who they knew were going to be lottery. They knew were going to be in the NBA, but they cared about losing that much. And they cared about the camaraderie that they had with that bond they built in 10 months. Wasn't really a long time. These guys came in as freshmen. They knew they was out after 1 year. And when I saw them cats crying and they was just emotional about it, that told me everything I need to know, man. Them is some ballers.
Yeah. You always want to see guys that are passionate about the game out there. That's
Absolutely.
one thing for sure.
And I'm telling you, New York is going to kick themselves in the butt. They didn't draft either Monk or Dennis Smith Jr., anybody but that Frenchman. No one knows who the hell that kid is, man.
Did he get hurt already?
I don't know.
Hurt his foot or something already?
Look, Kev, he could be trying to sell me cable right now at my house as a prank. I wouldn't know who the heck he was, man. I don't know who that kid is, man. I don't know.
Hey, man.
I don't know. I know everyone's getting hyped about the one kid that's going to the Clippers, the point guard they're getting. They call him the best passer in the world or whatever. All these Ricky Rubio clones, man, get out of here, man. It's gonna be totally different when he comes into the NBA. And I get that he played professional, but I don't know, man.
I'm not sold on a lot of guys.
Nah, man. But one thing about Lonzo Ball, we were just talking about him, man. So one thing he did get in the news, he said he actually put a tweet up talking about Issa, which was 21 Savage's body of work, I guess we're going to call, was better than 444. And he said that in a tweet. And that's when I knew he's trolling. That was his dad. That wasn't him.
You know what? No, I can see where a kid that's 19, 20 years old might feel that way. And plus, it seems like him and 21 Savage already have a little bit of a relationship. They know each other a little bit. So, I mean, that makes sense that he would feel that way. That 444 is an album that you got to live a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Before that's going to make any sense.
You got to be a little seasoned,
But Issa, man, I'm pretty sure, your little kids could probably get that, man. You know what I'm saying? Dante,
yeah,
gotcha. You know what I'm saying? Spaghetti.
Right. Fruit snacks, Dad. Yeah, we got a compilation video. Yeah, we got a compilation video coming up, and we got that included in it. Just stay tuned for that.
Keep your eye out for it.
Keep your eye open for that one for sure. So yeah, I'm not gonna fault him for that. He's a young boy. I kind of get it. So Jay released a video for Footnotes of 444. I know we talked about it. Me, you, and the Deserter talked about it for a little bit. That was just dope content right there, man. It
was. The video I still don't quite get. I don't know what that was all about. I ain't gonna lie. I always love seeing footage of the Leprechaun in Alabama. I don't know if you've ever seen that full video, but that's a classic. Listen, I love the Leprechaun.
The dude that's smiling. That's when you know Jay's on boxing. That's when you know. That right there is classic right there, man. I laughed so hard when I seen it. Like, yo, these cats is really unboxed it, man. You know, that's a cult classic right there.
It is. I don't know what that was all about. I don't know what the whole video was about. I thought it was dope when Marvin Gaye was singing at the end and him and Beyonce was on stage kind of dancing. I thought that was a nice little touch, man. Yeah. But the footnotes, man, that was powerful, man. You don't really get to see men, especially black men, kind of talking through their feelings and relationships and things like that, and just being so brutally honest with one another. And I thought that was dope. We especially never see anything like that from Hov. Like, he's always been, like, you know what I'm saying, untouchable. So to hear him, you know, kind of talking about noticing that change in himself, his own shortcomings.
Excuse me.
You know, another one that I thought was really dope that was in there was Jesse Williams, and you know, him kind of getting a chance to address his situation, because everybody had been kind of making their own assumptions about what had happened with him and his wife, and you know, he's like, yo, listen, that was not the case at all. Like, that was a very hard thing that I was going through, and everybody's making a mockery of it. And you know, to hear them being so candid about it, I thought that was definitely dope, man. It fed the track more than anything.
It goes back to what we were talking about with the album, transparency. How you can take the camera or the spotlight and shine it on yourself and point out your deficiencies as a man. And regardless of how much money you have, regardless of celebrity status, you still a man going to bed. If your wife turned her back on you, that cold shoulder is still cold. You know, and it was CP3 talked about that, man. That was dope. Just hearing that, you know, and that's why I was saying we were talking about in our group chat about how as a black man you yearn for that conversation, because it's different, man. It's different being black. And like when the part that they shined on that I thought was the dopest was when they just said, you know, just walking around being black is different, you know, and it's something you can really explain. But having to come home and take that armor off for your wife is like, sometimes it's a battle and it's hard to really do that. So I think it kind of painted a kind of a picture to, you know, females, just people in general, of how we perceive life at times. And sometimes it's hard for us to, sometimes it's 60, 70-year-old men that don't master that, you know, still trying to figure it out. And I thought that was very dope. And for Jay to do it was definitely very telling. What gets me is how people can see that and then be like, oh, well, I heard that from other people too. Okay, I get it. But it wasn't it wasn't a guy who people are going to listen to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And you know, who else has been living in Hov's truth? Like, that's my first question, because it's not like he was just out here just giving you just empty, you know, just rhetoric. It was so personal. It was him talking about his real life, giving you a peek into his real life. And I think that that's what most people connected with. It wasn't the fact that he was spilling it. It was the fact that it was so real. Yeah. And a lot of people make real music like that. That's not, you know, a secret. A lot of artists sing, rap about their real lives, but to get that from Jay-Z at this point in his career was something new. So how you can hate on that, I don't know, but you know, hey, listen. No, people hate on anything, man.
And that's the thing. I start hearing whispers about it, like people just hating on the album. And I get if you say, this was the most telling part to me, is like people would say, "Oh, it's a good album," but someone else has said that already, and it's like I can't rock with that, man. You know, I just can't. And there's been a lot of old heads, just older cats who will say, "Well, he took Biggie's style, or he took Kane style," or, you know, Big L was alive. And it's like, bro, I can't, you know, I will acknowledge the fact I appreciate you even having the conversation, but you might be on hip hop punishment, man. And I might have to put
you know, I don't work in the maybes.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't work in the maybes. If Big L, well, he ain't, so, you know.
Right. So then the tour gets announced, and everyone, and I know I'm definitely trying to go. And they were saying like the tickets are $200 and that's so much. Listen, J tickets are always that price. Like, I didn't get it. I think people reacted when they started hearing and Joe talked about this on the podcast too, was the resale value. So if you didn't get the tickets, the resale value was close to $2,000. So that's always the case, man. You got to get in there and get early. Try to get your tickets, you know?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, and you know, we're talking about the floor seats and stuff like that. I mean, you can find a good seat in that stadium that's not going to be $200,000, $300,000, nothing like that. And I mean, hey, listen, if you really want to see it, you're going to pay that price, man. Like, listen, I had to pay some resale for some Drake tickets, man. Listen, I paid a nice little penny for them, like worth every cent. Right. That boy put on a show, and the seats were well worth it. So, like, listen, if you want to go, you want to go. If you don't, that's cool too. I'm definitely trying to go. The only problem I see with that is that show is in Cleveland. For any of our listeners, we are in Columbus, Ohio. Yeah. Cleveland, Ohio, in November is not necessarily the easiest move to make with that lake snow.
You might not ever get home. Like, listen, if we go to that concert, we might not ever do this again. So that's what y'all know, that like, if you remote from here on out, and I'll have a beard.
I made that mistake last year to go see Kobe play that last game against Cleveland, man. I made that mistake. Went in February.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, we almost didn't make it home, man.
I remember talking to you about it.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Almost didn't make it home, man. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm a little skeptical, but I definitely would like to see that Hove show. If I do, I'll probably just end up probably making it a weekend, just staying out there, getting a hotel, and dip out whenever time is opportune.
Yeah, that'd be a good trip for the Wilds. You might have to take them to it, man. Find a sitter for a night or so.
We might have to figure it out.
We might have to figure it out because I'm gonna tell you, and anybody's ever been to Columbus, Ohio, man, like any metropolitan area in Ohio, period, they will plow the cities. Everything else, you're on your own. You know, so
right, man. Figure it out.
Yeah, have a charged battery on your phone for real. So listen, I didn't see this one. We put it in the chat, but 2 Chainz says Kanye still considers Hov his brother. Ye's in a good place. Album going to be fire. Listen, so I didn't see the interview. I just saw 2 Chainz have been making the rounds, and everybody was talking about him and Kanye. You know, had the pictures together with the families, and looked like Kanye was in a good place. And he kind of solidified that by saying they was in a good place. So you know, so as far as whether I'll let you speak on it, man, because I didn't even see the interview.
Yeah, I mean, with it, 2 Chainz, he touched on it lightly just because, you know, that question was, of course, was going to come up. But he did say that Ye said, you know, Kanye was saying Hov is still his brother. So I am glad to hear that. That makes me feel like at least at some point they may be able to repair that relationship, whatever's going on. I don't know what Kanye, the whole thing with Tidal is and him leaving Tidal. I feel like that is maybe a little bit of a rush to judgment. If that is the case, I don't know. I ain't in the business meetings. I don't know what's going on there. But I didn't like seeing that just because, you know, Kanye is a big act. He is a big artist. His push for Tidal really could help push them over the top. And really, outside of, you know, just getting paid, what do you really have to gain from going with any other, you know, streaming platform other than, you know, the one that you're part of, you could be part owner in, like
and that's what I kind of that's why I kind of think it definitely points to a little bit of bad blood between them, because like you said, it makes no sense to go with any other company. Why not invest in yourself? And which is, I always thought Kanye's thing was to do that anyway. So the relationship between him and Jay, or the business between him and Jay, seems to be a little bit muddy, and that kind of could have been it. But you know, the only way that I think that Kanye would be important for Tidal is if Kanye puts out good music. If he's not putting out anything worth listening to, he does not any value to anybody. You know. Yeah. So, but I do think that it could make for a hell of a re-up album between him and Hov, The Throne 2. I just thought it was dope. They called themselves The Throne. You know, that in its own right was sweet.
I feel like a Throne 2 album could bring Ye back.
Absolutely.
I mean, I feel like everybody after a while was pretty cold on Life of Pablo. Like, I don't really hear anybody talking about that album or listening to that album anymore.
Right.
So, I mean, with it was okay. I feel like that's kind of general consensus. Like, it was okay. It was all right. It was decent listen, but wasn't anything that blew you out of the water. Like, people still go back and listen to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I listen to 808s and Heartbreak all the time.
I do too.
It's a phenomenal album.
Yeah.
But even Late Registration, I'll go back and listen to a lot because, you know, again, another phenomenal album. So I do feel like Ye kind of needs that push again. And I feel like if Hov is in the space that he's in now and can get back with Kanye, and Kanye is really in a good space, man, listen, man, we can have some bangers just straight out the park.
Absolutely. I definitely think so. That Watch the Throne was kind of on par with a 444. It had no promotion. It just dropped. It just came out, and it was just good music, man. You know, so I think
that's what we need.
Yeah, absolutely. You make good music, I'm there, man. That's why I wanted, you know. And shout out to my man in the comments talking about we don't like Nas, man. Listen, if Nas about a banger, I love it. You know,
listen, we like Nas plenty, man. Like a lot of, you know, I feel bad, man, because a lot of that was us just trying to get on the Deserters' nerves, man.
Yes,
we were just kind of picking at the Deserter, but
we always listen. We just picking at the Deserter.
Really hate Nas. Like,
listen, and I'm gonna say it again because we talked about it in the podcast before. I'm gonna go and repeat myself. The Nas Lost series was because the Deserter wasn't here, and he's a big Nas fan. That's the only reason why we talked about Nas like that. All right, we like Nas, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Nas got classics just the same, man.
Yeah, but Jay's just better.
You know, hey, listen, shout outs to him.
Right. So, yo, man. So Wayne dropped Independence Day EP with no auto tune. Listen, you the Wayne fan, man. Was you there for it? How was it?
I like that Magnolia freestyle. I like the track he had with Gotta Gotta. Listen, there was nothing there that like blew me away. Like I wasn't knocked off my feet or anything by this 4-track EP, but it was good that I at least felt encouraged that at least somebody in the camp must have gotten in his ear like, yo, listen, put the auto tune down. Like people don't want to hear that from you anymore.
Right,
so,
right. It's run its course.
It's ruining your career.
Yes. And I think people forgot even what Wayne sounded like.
Yeah,
you know, because I was listening to Carter 2 the other day, and Hustler Music came on, and I just had to sit back in my chair and like hold my brow, like, yo, this cat really used to go, man. And he fell in love with the auto-tune thing, and it kind of had a mind of its own, man. Those Drought series, I gotta find those again and listen to those some more, man, because that was prime Wayne right there.
His verses on this new EP didn't sound like he had that fire in his belly.
Really?
And you know, I can understand maybe he's holding back some of his better material, but at this point it's like, bro, you can't afford to hold anything back. Like, everything that you touch needs to be absolute fire just to keep you on the listener's mind. Even if you're not getting paid from it right now, you can still do shows and tours and stuff like that. You can still tour new music, all that good stuff. So that needs to really be your focus. I never understood Wayne falling back while he's in these contract disputes, because it's like right now, or, you know, before you were putting out mixtapes all the time. You were giving away free music all the time. And now that you're not able to put out albums, you dial back on the free music. Like, to me, that seemed backwards. Now would be the time to really be pumping out that free music.
Exactly. You would think that'd be the time you grind mode to keep your name live and also keep doing it. That's what kind of was weird to me, that him and Drake never did a mixtape. When I saw the whole Drake and Future did a mixtape, I was like, this makes no sense. Where's Wayne and him doing a mixtape? You know?
No love. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know why he fell back. Like, I remember he was talking about he was going to retire there for a little while, and then now he's like, no, I ain't going to fall. But it's just a bad situation. Listening to that tape, I don't want to say I felt pity for him, but like, I missed the old Wayne. Like, I heard glimpses of what I remember from Wayne, and I got excited, but that ain't quite it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, and the thing that gets me though, if it really, and that's why I believe a lot of these relationships are built on just business, because if it was friendship that was built, if friendship was the floor with a lot of these relationships, I think Drake could help him out. I think he could definitely broker it with Baby to try to get that. And I still think Slim is the cause of all this. And I know you don't want to ride for it, but Slim is the problem. We never see him smile. We don't see him. And he's been here before. And I could have swore I seen him in like an old Wonder Woman picture or something. So Slim's been here for a long time. He might be a vampire. But anyways, I just think they could have made it right, man. You know, that's why I think a lot of these relationships are built on business and not friendship. You know,
absolutely.
For it to be this long, though, Kev. You know,
I don't think Drake can really pull him out of that though, because it's not a problem of, you know, Wayne can't put out the album. If Wayne was like, hey, listen, man, just forget about the $54 million. You can just keep it. I just want to put out music. I'm sure they'd be like, perfect. Yeah, let's get the ball back rolling. But you know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, listen, we're gonna stall everything out until I get paid my money, and you know, that's kind of where it gets muddy. So. Yeah, I don't know. All I know, I would like to hear some new hot Wayne music, man. I could really do for that Dedication 6 right about now. Yeah,
I mean, something. Just like you said, some music to come out, just something to make us feel like, okay. Either just something for us to know. Is he washed, or can he still do it? I'm cool with either one. If he puts out an album and he's washed, and hey, we write that check, he's out of here. We get a feature every 1 or 2 years.
It was a good run.
It was a good run, man. You know, give him a high five and get out of there. So we'll see what happens. But yo, man, last story we had, man. So Eminem's in the studio with Dre. New album is coming. Are we here for it? As long as he cuts the beard. That Eminem with a beard looks very weird to me. I can't accept that. I don't know how I feel about that one. It looks kind of colored on. But I mean, he's one of the best spitters to ever rap. But I think I've evolved so much as a listener of music that it's got to be talking about something. You know, he's got to have some sort of just, he can't just be in there just making things rhyme that aren't supposed to rhyme and I'd be okay with it. Like, I listened to Bar Exam 4 from Royce da 5'9". Amazing, lyrically just amazing, but I heard it and I shut it off and I'm done. You know, it doesn't stay with me. It doesn't stay with me, so I just want something like that. Yeah, but I don't know. What you think?
I gotta be honest, man. Do I want to hear another M album? Not really. Not really. I haven't enjoyed an Eminem album since Relapse. I really enjoyed Relapse, even though I know a lot of people hate it. They hated like that little accent that he was doing or whatever. I really enjoyed Relapse. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah. Recovery, I didn't like it so much. Marshall Mathers LP2, not so much. I wasn't there for that either. I think there was a Relapse 2 in there.
I think so, yeah. That was bad.
No, I'm good. I'm good on that. I don't want to hear any of that stuff, so... I mean, of course, when it comes out, we'll check it out. But am I excited about a new Eminem album? Not really.
Well, the thing that gets me excited about it is that Dre's in the studio with him. Because I think Eminem started getting himself in trouble when he was producing his own songs. That's what really that messed him up, because every song sounded the same. It had the same, you know what I mean, that same dreamy, just dreary sound to them, and it was like everything sounded the same, like one long mixtape, and you know, just rapping about it. Hey, so many times I can hear you say you want to kill your mom, man, like, and then it's like I'm out of there, you know, but I don't know. So, but yeah, man. So that's what we had today, man. So, yo, Games Music Life podcast, episode 80. Nadir, Kev, the deserter is still not here. We don't know where that guy is at. The guy over here all the way to the end.
Well, we got to get a good picture for over there, man. You know
I still think that the Jordan crying man always fits, man.
Hey, we might need that E3 footage. I don't know.
I got it. But yo, I'm your residential gamer, Nadir.
Yo, this is Cal Kev.
Yo, Games Music Life podcast, episode 80. Drink more water, people. Peace.